Okay, the first group that we are going to look into would be the liberal feminism. Yeah? As the name stated, they are liberal group of people, and the liberalism that they are talking is more or less about the fight for complete gender equality through social, political, and legal means. Yeah? And they want to be free from the chain, from the position that they were put into from the hundreds of years of, or maybe thousands of years, because they were never being acknowledged. Women are at one time are just property. They are not even acknowledged as human beings. Yeah? They are the property of the males, uh, just like animals. Yeah? The situation happened because the law, the perception of the society, meaning the force of the law is in a nature that allows those kind of differences to take place. Then uh, they are subjected to a lot of things. Yeah, they even to the extent of 18th centuries they were uh, before they were allowed to what they call it to vote. They are just uh, accepted as bearing child, uh, object of bearing child. That's it. Or in other words, to give sexual pleasures to the male. You know, nothing else. They are just there, and it's very sad. Yeah, it's very sad to see that. And irrespective whether whatever religion, you will see the gender inequality that exists in every society and in every age and in every religion. Though all the religion is promoting equality, fairness, and justice, but you don't see that. Right? So people in terms of gender, women are expected to be at home, to provide, to take care of the home, prepare food, be subservient to the husband. Whereas it should not be in that manner, right? So if I were to go along the line of Islamic perspective, uh, in terms of the role of a woman in Islam would be just to pleasure the husband uh, in bed, meaning you don't have to do anything else. As far as cleaning, as far as cooking, as far as anything, yeah. So the women don't have to do it. They are to be provided for everything. That is the true perspective. And if you look into the Islamic religion properly, and then you will see the need, because male is created in order for us to take care of the woman. We are the protectors of the woman. So we have to do whatever we have to do. So we have to get the money, we have to get the food, we have to cook, we have to everything. We are the protectors of the woman. But somehow or other things go haywire, right? So this liberal feminism, they try to really fight for the shackles to be removed. You know, as you can see from the picture, they just want to be free. Yeah? So from how it is through social, political, and obviously the legal means. To me, I would say the legal means would be the number one factor. Once we are able to abide to the or change or formulate a law that is reflecting equality, balancing in terms of the what they call it, the balance between gender, as you can see in the picture. Obviously, that would be a position that we are able to have a fair society, a just society, and everyone would be happy in that society. Women, I would say they are able to maintain the psychological pressure that was put to them, and they were expected to keep to suppress the anger, the unhappiness, the anxiety. So that is the society. Why the society behave like that? Because the inequality in terms of the law. Right? So in the next slide, feminism, they just want to be liberated, and they are to be free. And once they are free, they can able to get the equality that they want, and from the equality they can gain happiness. Okay, so liberals holds that freedom is a fundamental value, right? Freedom is a fundamental value. If you talk about freedom, freedom is not freedom if we have people of gender that is not being recognized in terms of their rights. I'm talking about equality of the gender with respect to male and female, and that the just state ensures freedom for individuals. So, how do you ensure freedom? Obviously, it has to come from law, nothing else. You cannot change people's mind. If you can change people's mind, I don't know how you change people's mind. It might take 300 or 400 years. We see the nature of woman that is being, disregard, being victims of the male because there is no existence of the law. But because there is existence of the law due to the movement of feminists, then we will see that then we see the changes that is occurring in our society, especially in the Western world. Then you don't see that in the Central Asia and then the Southeast Asia countries because we are lacking. Because we are holding more towards the norm of the society rather than the position of the law. Okay, both men and women must be free humans capable of doing good things. Because to them, if you are free, you are able to go and do good deeds, good things. If you don't have to go far, right? If you see people who are victims mentally, physically, emotionally, so they cannot what they call it, they cannot perform, they cannot contribute back to the society because they are they are tied down because whatever their position in terms of the economy, in terms of the politics, in terms of education, in terms of mental, physical, things like that. So this the differences is actually the one that is not creating the happiness that every one of us, all of us, is looking for. And you look at the social arrangement from their perspective. Social arrangement often fail to respect women. Okay, personal autonomy and other elements of women flourishing. Uh, so, example here I can put up as a gender system that we have. We more or less rely on patriarchal nature, which we inherited from our forefathers. Okay, and the institution that we believe in. Say, for example, what kind of institution that we have? Religious institution, right? The religious institution that we have in our country is one way of oppressions to women. Okay, uh, maybe I can give you one example. When it comes to Salat, women have to stay behind. Yeah, even to the extent certain quarter says that women are not allowed to come to what do you call it, prayers place and things like that. Okay, if gender inequality equality is to be achieved, same political rights in terms of same political rights, economic opportunities, and rights to education would give the woman a sense of equality for them to be enjoyed. Uh, and actually, this these so-called rights are being enjoyed by all men at this point of time. Okay, so for example, women are expected to stay at home rather than women then can go out as compared to men. Men can go out anytime they want. Yes, we are talking about the risk of a woman might be, injured by the male counterpart, but that alone is a standard that we put, whereby we belittle people. We belittle women and say that they don't know how to take care of themselves. When they go out at 3 o'clock in the morning, so they are bad people, bad women. The stigma that we put into to people when they behave in a certain nature, uh, uh, we put our standard towards them. So, in other words, when we put standards, our standards towards them, we are forcing them to behave towards what we want them to behave. So they are tied down. They are forced to behave uh, without them to be able to be free. Okay. Here, I mentioned about right to be represented, right to political movement. Political movement. You can see women involvement in political movement are not as great as far as women, men as compared to men. And then we have political status. Why this political is important? Because with politics we have power. When you have power, then you are able to change the law. Without changing the law, then the norm the normality normality in our society would remain at status quo. So you can have other people's standards that is being forced towards people, towards other people, meaning towards the female gender. If the law would be able to be formulated and giving rights to women, then obviously they are free. For example, women are uh, previously uh, they cannot vote, right? In America, the movement, this feminist movement, uh, is the one that changed the whole thing. Right? Without the ability of women to speak up, say that they are to be recognized as human beings, and therefore, if they are human beings, therefore they can also have the right to choose, to vote, right? To choose their representative. Then only then the law will be able to acknowledge and say that they have the right to vote. The same goes for education. So when it comes to education, obviously you are here in ITM because somebody, of your gender fight for your rights to be able to pursue your studies. Otherwise you won't be listening to my lecture record because you are unable to register yourself as a student, especially when it comes to student of law, student of pursuing professional education. This is something that is, if you get one person that is able to, you know, you're able to like be here, 200 years, a woman of 200 years ago to be able to time warps into current day, they will be definitely surprised about the position that the woman able to uh, gather or obtain because it all started with their movement. Okay? Equal rights to pay, right to work, right to education, all this cannot happen without the implementation of the law.